like it's possible to outgrow friendships. It's possible to outgrow relationships, and that's okay. Don't have to
Right.
be no ill will, no hard feelings, or nothing like that. But sometimes we outgrow each other, and
Facts.
people are scared to say that because they don't want to seem conceited or whatever. They don't want to seem rude, or they don't want to downplay the other person. But sometimes you outgrow people,
Yeah.
whether that be your significant other, whether that be a friend, whether that be anything. And I'm not saying that you have to give up on people, but like Snoop was telling ASAP Rocky, it's like when you want to come up, you going up here, and you know you with your boys, y'all coming up here and y'all right here, and then you keep growing, and then they right here. And if for you to even be at their level, you got to come back down, or you got to cut the tie and let them do what they do.
Right.
And that's really what it be sometimes. Like you can only hinder yourself for your friends, your significant other, whatever your relationships in life. You can only put yourself down to a certain level. You got to have a breaking point.
Right.
You got to have a certain, like you got to have a place where you draw the line where you're not going to be just continually bringing yourself down just to make some, dimming your light to make somebody else light brighter, make them feel more comfortable with their light being a little dimmer.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, outgrowing friendships is a I mean, it's a big.
It's
I mean,
a real
It's a
thing.
real thing.
It's
It
a real
is,
thing.
and they should if they're your real friends, they should want to go up with you and grow with you, not go not staying and stay.
But
the same.
not everybody. You know what I'm saying? Not
You could cut
everybody's
off
able to.
exactly. But I'm saying because a lot of people have like fucked up ass families, and you'll have to distance yourself because you going a different way than how they came up. You know what I'm saying? It's like toxic. You know what I'm
None
saying?
of us came up in the same way. I mean, we brothers, but we ain't none of us came up in the same.
Exactly. But I'm saying like some people have to be that motherfucker to really turn the corner in their family. Like some
For
people
sure.
have families that's like on drugs and shit. You might be the individual to be like, nah, and start a new wave.
Mm-hmm.
And you never know, like you might have to distance yourself to keep your situation good and keep growing. And then hopefully the other people that you care about, the switch eventually will click in their head. And later on down the line, you may, you know what I'm saying? You may be able to talk to them. They was like, man, I was going through some shit. And y'all have,
I think at some point, like in order for me to be friends, because I had this situation happen to me where me and one of my partners kind of just it wasn't even that it was no bad blood.
Right.
It just he was in another lane, I was in another lane type shit. He was doing his thing and I was doing my thing. And we just kind of lost that connection, that brotherhood. Not even losing the brotherhood, but because I don't think that if it's real, like if it's true brotherhood or if it's true sisterhood or whatever the fuck relationship, I think if I love you as whatever, then I think that would always be that. But at some point, we just wasn't in the same lane, and it was just like, all right, bro. Like it was like, what's up? I fuck with you. But it wasn't no conversation. It wasn't no. We both outgrew each other on some shit.
Yeah.
And it took like 2 or 3 years for me to get in position, and then he got in position, and then it's like, oh yeah, bro, I fuck with you. What's up? And
Right.
because it's a brotherhood, or because it wasn't ended on no hating shit, or nigga, you more up, or I'm more up, or whatever the case is.
Oh, nigga, you think you too
Yeah.
good type
Uh,
shit.
yeah.
because you
that's
have to
the-
respect, like me as a person, I respect that niggas had to outgrow me. I expected it because I just I wasn't where I was supposed to be. So
Right.
when my niggas going out kicking it, having fun, balling out of control, and I'm like, damn, I'm fucked up. Like, what am I to do with that, or what are they to do with that? You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
That's just on a financial standpoint. But if say for instance, if I get churchy on us, like if I just start going to church, or you or GB or anybody else, like certain shit we can't be around because it remind us of uh the shit that we used to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's cool to outgrow, but at the same time, it's like you have to have some type of like I don't want to say self accountability, but you have to look at yourself too and say, damn, how can I grow? And also, I talking a bunch of bullshit.
How can I grow? Why are you get pause?
Oh shit.
It
But it's like how can I grow and still kind of be the same person? But I think those two things are kind of impossible. If you're gonna grow, that means you coming out of like even snakes. I hate to use that as an analogy, but when they grow, they shed the skin
Right.
to get bigger. You can't get bigger and you in the same skin. Pause, if necessary. Definitely necessary. But nah, for real though, that's my take. That's how I feel about it on some shit.
Nah, I
Like,
feel
I think
you,
it's
though.
cool to outgrow your friends, but if it's brotherhood or sisterhood or whatever you want to call it, if it's real, I say that if it's real, then I think both parties should be able to respect it. But that's not reality. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's how it
Like
should be.
niggas really be on some. Oh, nigga,
That's some that's the niggas that ain't really your friends.
or niggas that just don't know how.
Or just
Niggas
don't
that
They might
understand.
be your friend at that moment, but they are still dealing with what they dealing with.
I feel like
They're
it's
not
like,
in a place to be your friend.
Yeah.
They're not in a place to be your
I feel like it's
Exactly.
like if
they're
it's
not in a
Exactly.
place to be your comrade. Like it's been I remember when I was like I talk about my living to die phase. Like when I was living to die, bro, there was a shorty that she had outgrown me.
right.
She had legitimately outgrown me. And she was basically telling me like, yeah, nigga, for lack of better words, like, I need a man and you a boy. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
And for a while, that shit fucked me up. I was like, damn, like, I'm a grown ass man.
In your head,
I'm
you
like-
probably was thinking, my bad, go ahead.
In my mind, I'm like, I'm a grown ass man. Like,
Right.
how dare you speak to me? Like, I'm doing this, I got this, I got that, I got the car, I got the house, I got this. But my mind was still, it was still childlike. I still made childlike moves. I still did childlike things. And it took a while for me to even respect what she said.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? We could have circled back around and spun the block. But at that time, by the time I realized that she had outgrown me, I had outgrown her.
Right.
And I had outgrown her. Like, sometimes you outlap people because you need that motivation. Sometimes you just need that wake-up call. And it took me a while to even realize that she had outgrown me. And by the time I realized she outgrew me, I'm looking at her like, damn, this is what you were saying.
Right.
Like, this is what you were talking to me about. I mean, it happens, bro.
Oh, okay, I get what
I
you're saying.
think the
I
part
got you.
from you saying that, it kind of had me thinking, bro. Like, it's all part of the process, bro. It's like life. It's like everybody's not here to be in your life forever. It's like you on this journey and you cross paths with somebody just for that moment to get.
We all borrowing each other
you
at the
get,
end of the day.
you get that.
That's crazy.
Maybe you needed that little push for her to say that bullshit to you, and it was like you said. At first, you didn't get it, but after a while, you was like, it kind of makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
By the time I realized that it was like I had outgrown so many people, and it takes you to outgrow people to understand that people outgrew you.
Facts. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because you have to actually grow to even realize that,
What's going on?
damn, she really outgrew me, or he really outgrew this friendship. Damn, I was holding you down. Damn, I was holding you back. Like I thought I was your anchor, but I was really just a motherfucking weight.
Right.
You know what I'm
Anchor that never unanchors.
Yeah, I was
for me to move on some shit.
exactly. I thought I was your anchor. I was baggage. You know what I'm saying? That shit gets real. I mean, it's tough it's a tough pill to swallow. Pause. Like to say that she out because like we all saying, you got to take yourself outside of that frame and look at it yourself. Have some self awareness and self accountability. Excuse me, and just realize that. Is it me? Am I the drama? I'm the problem, and it's okay to be the problem sometimes.
Damn.
But don't stay the problem.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Speak on it.
You know, one of my homegirls told me not too long ago. She was just, I ain't gonna even say not too long ago, this week, I don't give a fuck. But she was telling me like on some shit, like I was going through some shit with one of my kids' moms, and she was like, oh, I was like, nah, it's her fault for this, it's her fault. And then she's like, nah, it's your fault because I picked up one of the kids or and it started a whole fiasco. Yeah, on my mama. And at first when she said it, I was like upset about it. I was like, what the fuck? Like, nah, hell no. Then when I sat back, I'm like, oh shit, I am the problem. Cause my pops told me about all this shit. And I didn't accept it from my pops.
For sure.
But when I really sat and thought about it, I'm like, damn, it's hard to be hold yourself accountable, especially a guy like me. I'm the nigga that's like, you know me, he know me. I'm the nigga, niggas be having to tell me, nigga, it ain't all your fault type shit when it comes to certain situations.
Right.
So it's like, in this particular situation, it's like, damn, I wasn't the one that grew out of the situation. I just was still like, nah, it's their fault, until I had to take that step back. I'm like, nah, nigga, it's your fault, which was a growing moment for me. Like, damn, I can see now from the other side.
Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you can be holding yourself accountable and still hold other people accountable too. Like, I messed up at this, but then what I messed up at, that caused you to do this, but you were still messed up at doing that. You just use my mess up as an excuse.
Right.
Like, if I cheat on you and You slapped the shit out of me. You slapped the shit out of me. You still foul for slapping the shit out of me, but that don't take away from me being foul.
Right.
For cheating on you. Like,
Facts,
both
100%.
things can be true at one time. Two
Facts.
people can be wrong in a situation. It's all about who acknowledges what. If everybody acknowledges everything, that's when you can grow from it. If you know from it, you can grow from it.
Right.
But if ain't nobody learning, ain't nobody taking accountability, it's tough to grow when you haven't, you know what I'm saying, accepted your part that you played in this role. You know what I'm saying? Or played in this fiasco, whatever you want to call it. Were you about to say something, G?
Nah, I was just thinking, man, like at a certain point